Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. Mining Weekly editor Martin Creamer joins me today to unpack the latest news in the mining industry. Welcome, Martin.
Thanks, Ashni.
Now, tell us about AECI being on track to become a global top 3 player in the industry by 2030.
On Thursday, AECI, which we used to refer to in the old days as African Explosives and Chemical Industries, turned 100. So it was established and registered in 1924, but it actually had been operating ahead of that time, so it's really about 128 years old. But we see now, that it has really established itself well. Not only does it supply South Africa's needs, a lot of the South African needs, of course, they are competitors, but it also has got a good market share in particularly Ghana and Botswana. But the idea now is it's going to spread its roots, quite substantially. And with the whole idea of these critical minerals and metals coming into play, a lot of opportunities are popping up. And we see that, over in Australia, they're seeing a lot of opportunity. They have acquired a Brazilian company. They're in Chile. They're looking at Peru. They're going to go for United States and also Canada. And they're quite convinced that, with this momentum building up now, they're going to be the number 3 company in this field, which is, it's about detonators and explosives and chemicals. So it was quite a celebration at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange because their original postal address when they registered in 1924 was the JSE. So it shows you how close the mining related companies were in those days to the mining industry. But it's also great to see that a company can keep going like this and look even better than it's ever looked, when it turns 100. So they're already planning, the way forward, which will mean that it will change slightly because they want to stick to the core industries. So non-core businesses they're going to dispose of. There will be 6 of those that they dispose of. And then the cash from that, they want to reduce debt and reduce gearing. And they believe that they'll be able to double their earnings by 2026. So in a good shape.
And this week, Copper 360 produced its first concentrate from the plant it acquired from Nama Copper.
Yes, so this is a company which has got incredible momentum. They listed on the Altex of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange in April last year. And the number of news breaks they've had since then is just phenomenal. They do have a lot of assets in this group. But we see now, they've acquired Nama Copper. But in next to no time, they are producing concentrate from that. So this will be their second concentrator plant. They're about to commission the one that they had been building and planning. That's also close to production. And then they've always had that SXEW plant, the solvent extraction electrowinning plant, producing plates. So that's three production plants. And the drilling that they do, the exploration drilling, is based on historic data. But every time they start drilling, they find that there's a lot more copper there than they imagined. So we saw with Rietberg, which is going to start producing copper soon. They thought there'd be 1 deck of copper. It turned out to be many decks of copper. The next lot of drilling they did, also they found that they've got a capacity there to create a Chile type copper mine. And we know that those Chile mines are deep. And so everything going according to plan, and the surprises are all on the upside for Copper 360.
And the partnership between Richards Bay Coal Terminal and Transnet is being looked on positively.
I think this public-private partnership is the way to go for South Africa. On a line like the coal line, which there were always good relationships there. But the moment you saw, Richards Bay Coal Terminal come together with Transnet Freight Rail in a sort of a more formal partnership, you could see improvements building on that line very, very fast. But also realization that there's a lot got to be done on the line. But that's also okay. At least, people know where they are. And immediately, of course, they tackled the problem with copper cable theft. And collectively, they worked on that to cut that down. We also, seeing them now going further, where the biggest problem there is the availability of locomotives. So sometimes, the locos haven't got parts, they can't move. Collaboratively, they now work to get those parts and to get everything moving. So, we see that even on the manganese line, there's more cooperation. Everywhere now where the companies are working together with the state-owned enterprises, we're seeing an improvement for South Africa. So hopefully this will be our way of getting forward. I think even at municipal level, there was once a plan where, substations, which were electrical substations, would be continually managed by the private sector. Of course, it would be controlled by the municipality. But at that early stage, it didn't get through. But I think now that we've realized that we've got to have electricity, you've got to have water, you've got to have all these important ingredients, why not have a public-private partnership where you can still have people within the municipality controlling it, but they are working with a company that's job is to do specific things. And hopefully we'll see some action along that line as well.
Thanks for speaking with us, Martin.
Great pleasure, Sashni.
That's it for today. Join us again next week for more news analysis on the local and global mining industries. To subscribe to Creamer Media's Engineering News and Mining Weekly, please email subscriptions at creamermedia.co.za.